second, I'll just. Is my voice clear now? Okay. So here we're starting the 16th chapter. If you remember the 15th chapter, we had discussed about how the Pandavas retired timely and Pandavas made Parikshit the king. And Pandavas have retired. So the original question was started with how did Parikshit, remember the fourth chapter, the question was started was that how did Parikshit, he got the, he retired, though he was a very successful king, why did Parikshit retire? And because Parikshit was doing welfare for others, the Parikshit should not have retired, isn't it? So there, that's what their question was. And now they have talked about the birth of Parikshit, 12th chapter. Then the situation lead to Dhritarashtra retiring, the 13th chapter. Then 14th chapter, Arjuna coming back to Hastinapur from Dwarka. 15th chapter, they come to know that Krishna has left and they also retire. And now Parikshit becomes the king. So 16, 17, 18, 19 chapter, this will be all about that how Parikshit becoming a so this coming 16 to 19 chapter, they are like one unit. So please don't miss till the 19th chapter. Those of you have joined today, so make sure that you come till the crux of the 19th chapter because it's very, very amazing. The 16th chapter talks about how Parikshit roamed around the world and he saw the personality of Kali hitting the cow in the bush. 17th chapter talks about Parikshit punishing Kali. And 18th chapter talked about how Parikshit was cursed by a 7-year-old boy. And 19th chapter talk about Sukdev Goswami meeting Parikshit and Parikshit sitting for 7 days. Is my audio not coming?
We are able to hear, Guruji.
Is my audio clear?
Yes.
Audible, okay. So please check your connection. Yeah. So the 19th chapter, Parikshit retires. And that's where Sukdev Goswami comes and speaks Srimad Bhagavatam. So whole 16 to 19 chapter is making the scene of Kali Yuga, how Parikshit was cursed and how Bhagavatam came about. So therefore, these chapters are very, very important. 16 to 19 chapter. So we are going to see what happens over there and many lessons for the age of Kali Yuga. Screen sharing. One second, just okay. I should then connect on from this only. This is creating problem for screen sharing. I hope. So Maharaj Parikshit as an ideal ruler and punishes Kali, Shaunak Rishi's questions, movements of Maharaj Parikshit as a counter against effects of Kali, and conversation between earth, conversation between earth in the form of cow and dharma in the form of bull, and earth expresses pain of separation from the Lord and laments about the effects of Kali. So Maharaj Parikshit as an ideal ruler punishes Kali, ruled as per instructions of Brahmanas. So he married with a daughter of King Uttara and begot 4 sons headed by Maharaj Janmejaya. So when Parikshit was cursed, Janmejaya had done a Sarp Yagya. In that Sarp Yagya, he had called because Takshaka had caused the death of Parikshit. So therefore, Janmejaya thought that I will wipe out the whole race of Sarpa only. So Janmejaya was the son of Parikshit. But then one Rishi came and stopped in the Yagya. For example, one terrorist comes for a country and you destroy the whole country for that one terrorist. Yeah. So Sarp Yagya he was doing. And he performed 3 horse sacrifices and chastises Kali in the dress of a lower man. An amazing thing, he was always guided by the Brahmana concept. See how a Vedic society was, if you heard about Chandragupta Maurya and Ashoka. So that was a real ideal society. See how Chandragupta Maurya, 2500 years, became a great king because of his guidance by Chanakya Pandit. So Chanakya Pandit actually made him the king and taught how to protect the India. But Chanakya would live very, very detached there. And because as a Brahmana, he will live detached, and Chandragupta Maurya will rule, and Chanakya will guide him that how to fight war and what to do. And that's how Chandragupta Maurya was very, very successful. So Vedic time, because the Kshatriyas, though they will be very people of character, but they will follow the Brahmanas, so their rule will bring good for the people. Because Brahmanas will tell what the scriptures talk about. And when the rule of the state is according to the scriptures, people will be happy there. And that's what Parikshit was an ideal king. Even Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was always guided by the Hari, Guru and Vaishnava, Vipra Dharma Achyutashraya. So he would first consult great sages, learned Brahmanas, who could advise by the Shastras how to execute the state administration. Even if you read Valmiki Ramayana, there are verses after verses about how to run the state. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam also, there are many things. Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva is a big chapter talks about how to run a state. So scriptures talk about everything. How to run a state, what to do, what not to do. Like when to fight, when not to fight. So all the details are given. When to make a sandhi with an enemy, when to not make a sandhi with an enemy. So all that is being given. So the rules and regulations already set forth by great liberated sages like Manu, Yajnavalkya, and Parashar, and enactments are all suitable for ages in all palaces. And Parikshit will follow their ministers. And how a king should be Samadarshi, that and equal to everyone. See, king should not protect only all human beings. He should also protect animals because animals are also praja of the king. And therefore, the slaughterhouses should not be there because it is an injustice to the animals there. So therefore, the kings would make sure that animals are also protected. And they were all self-life souls, and they knew perfectly well how all living in the state would be happy, both in this life and the next. And they were not in the mood eat, drink, and be merry. See, the king's duty was not only to see कि people are happy in this loka. The king duty also to see that people are happy in parloka also. The people should not commit sinful activities and go to hell. And therefore, the state laws and the laws of the Vedas, they were in sync. Like what is sin in Vedas is also sin in the state. But now today it's not like this. Is it law and order break if somebody drinks liquor? No, you can pay and drink liquor. Or you can have animal slaughterhouses. It doesn't matter to the state the moment they're getting money. But during Vedic time, it was not like this. There were rules and regulations properly followed there. And people were taught, the king also saw, because king will take 1/6 of the piety of the citizens and 1/6 of the sinful reactions of the citizens. So if the citizen is sinful, king is sinful. Citizens are pious, the king is pious. The king will make sure that people don't do sinful activities there. And during the time of Parisksit Maharaj, the 4 regular principles were followed in the whole state. No gambling, no meat eating, no intoxication, and no prostitution, and no illicit sex. Like people were confined to their families. So that was very much being followed, and the king made that people don't commit sin. And the dharma was more emphasized. Dharma was more emphasized. So king not only saw the physical protection of the citizens, he also saw the spiritual protection of the city. The king not only saw the physical protection, but also saw that the citizens are spiritually protected from committing sin. And that's why he will make all the rules and regulations such a way that people go to a pious life, not to a sinful life. And when Yudhishthira Maharaj was there, most people were the devotees of the Lord in that kingdom, following the dharma. And they would glorify Lord Sri Krishna, Yudhishthira, Parisksit, whatever wealth will come, they will have people doing Bhagavatham, glorifying Sri Krishna. And that's what they would do. And root cause of all, proper rights, what is the root cause of all mismanagement and corruption? See, the 4 ages, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara and Kali Yuga, are continually come in cycle. And in a day of Brahma, there are 1,000 cycles of it. So this Iron Age or Kali Yuga, which is called Kali Yuga, began when? 5,000 years before. Till the time Lord Krishna was on the planet, Kali could not come. And the moment, and so the current age is called by evil person named Kali. So Kali is a person. Kali is a personality. Influenced by Kali, the ruling kings defied Vedas and killed Lord's devotees. And the very moment Lord Krishna left Earth, Kali entered the world. See, Krishna Sadham Upagate Dharma Gyani. So Lord Krishna stayed on this planet Earth for 125 years. And the moment he left, Kali entered. But because Yudhishthira had ruled for 36 years while Krishna was present. When Krishna left, Yudhishthira also left. And Yudhishthira saw all the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Now Parikshit became the king, and there's a time Kali also entered. And what is the main mission of Kali Yuga? To divert people from the 4 basic rules. Purity. Purity means cleanliness, mercy, austerity, and truthfulness. So these are the 4 pillars of religion. First is cleanliness or purity, mercy, austerity, and truthfulness. So religion stands, or dharma stands, on these 4 legs. But what had happened? So Kali's influence destroys our cleanliness of body and mind with unrestricted sex, our mercy with animal slaughter and meat eating, truthfulness with gambling, and austerity with intoxication. You see 4 pillars, how it has been taken. Only 1 pillar of truth is remaining little bit. Otherwise, 4 limbs were destroyed. So I speak little bit about what about this 4 limbs of What are these four limbs and how they are so important? See, the first limb is about cleanness. When cleanness broke up, then people have unclean relationship, and that's how people like to break regulative principles. And in Kali Yuga, the promiscuity has so much increased in form of pornography, the extramarital relationship or before marital relationship. So this has become a common norm. But when cleanliness is so, and it destroys naturally, it destroys cleanliness. See, cleanliness is twofold. One is cleanliness in the environment and cleanliness of the mind. So when your mind is attracted by other people's body, the mind becomes unclean with lust there. And because of that lust, the uncleanness comes even in the environment, the unclean words. Like if you go to engineering colleges or colleges, the what kind of language boys speak. Even they want to speak 2-3 sentences without a slang. So those who have studied in engineering college, they would have experience of there. I personally studied in engineering college in first year. So and I was so saying, my God, they can't speak one sentence without a slang. And why? All due to illicit sex. Because the mind is filled with wrong thoughts and wrong words. Come on, unclean. And they don't feel it, there is something wrong about it. They feel it so normal there. And most of the engineering colleges, have that kind of culture. And I hope probably many of you have studied in engineering colleges. And that's why you are, those who have studied, they would know this, that yes, that's the way it was in the engineering colleges, the main thing. And the mind becomes, and always mind is always thinking of impressing the opposite party there. So how the mind could be clean? So when the cleanness is destroyed, then naturally people become very unclean in habits, and they don't mind and things there, and they're living together. It's very, very unclean there. And same way, you see, like Ajamila, he went to the prostitute, and prostitute, how they will remain very unclean, everything, and he was not minding because of attraction to the prostitute. He fall down from the Brahmanical standard. So one falls from goodness and thing when due to illicit sex there. And then second is mercy. Like when you eat animals, the mercy in the heart goes away. See, one boy, one day, one boy saw the father cutting the neck of the chicken, of the hen, and he was taking a knife and cutting it. And next day, the father was making a shave, and his cheek got cut and blood came out. And saying, "I do something, do something." And child asked, "Father, yesterday you were cutting a hen. He was also feeling the pain. Today you are feeling the pain." So child could relate that the pain a hen is feeling when you cut him, we also feel pain when our cheeks are cut. Pain is pain. You see how animals cry out when they are killed, isn't it? And same way we cry out when we are killed there. So when you inflict pain upon others, it is also the pain as us. So somebody cannot counteract that, cannot speak the way we, doesn't mean that we kill a person. So the animals. So when people start killing the animal, now we say, okay, I don't kill, I just somebody else killed and I just eat it. But it's a product of that killing. And what had happened, there is a secretion in the underlying glands of the animals which are killed. So when they're killed with terror, then what the food you eat, that kind of mindset also goes away there. And people become violent and so mercy gets lost. But when people are following thing, they don't want to unnecessarily harm the animals, harm other living beings there. So therefore the mercy is being followed. Same way, when there is a gambling, then people naturally speak untruth. Why? How they will earn money otherwise. The truthfulness is lost when the gambling increases. And the only pillar of dharma, so one way we say that all this ansha reduced to 25% in Kali Yuga. In Satya Yuga, all were present fully. All the four limbs were present fully. Mercy, truthfulness, cleanliness, and austerity. In Treta Yuga, they all become 75%. In Dwapar Yuga, they become 50%. And Kali Yuga, they become 25%. So this is one way we measure it. Other way measure it that one after one yuga, one was like Satya Yuga, all were there. And Treta Yuga austerity is gone. Then Dwapar Yuga came, only remain cleanliness and mercy. Yeah, and then Kali Yuga only remain truthful. So both ways this are seen, but the point is practically dharma is lost. One dharma stands on these four pillars, and the dharma is lost with it. And same intoxication you do. Person can't do austerity with it. So when you do intoxication, it destroys austerity there. So these are the four principles of dharma, and that is why Prabhupada constituted four regulative principles of freedom. Four regulative principles of freedom. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication. So if you follow this, you become a human being. And you chant Hare Krishna, you become a divine. To become a human being, one should follow this four regulative principles. There. That doesn't make you divine, it makes you a human being. And then you follow chant Hare Krishna, it makes you divine, a devotee of the Lord. There. So therefore, it's very, very important. And these four principles are the pillars of sin, which constitute sin. When you break this four principles, that's how the sin happens. With breaking of this four. And they become the cause for all other sinful activities. So therefore, the four pillars of dharma are very, very important. So now Parikshit was seeing that the bad omens were seen everywhere when Kali entered earth. She jackals cried at rising sun, vomited fire, dogs barked fearlessly. So Maharaj Yudhishthir had observed this and he enthroned Maharaj Parikshit. Now Parikshit, very amazingly, see Parikshit was not sitting in his office. He went out to conquer the world to see if some terrorists are there. And some people are creating a trouble. So it's king's duty to protect the innocent citizen. Now Kali Yuga, so there are two kinds of protection. One kind of protection that innocent citizens are killed, and king should take immediate action. King should not think, "Arey, 10 log hi to mare." No. King means somebody is dead. He is ready to chase the perpetrators towards the end of the earth also. There. So that's the duty of the king, that he gets the offender and punish them. Like Ashwathama killed the 5 sons. And Arjuna immediately caught up Ashwathama and brought him there. So when people did mistake, they should be punished. It's a duty of the king. And in the current context, the punishing the terrorists is a very good thing, which is happening. So till now, they've been doing terror and escape away to Pakistan. But currently, when they are doing now next time they will think also, if we do something, they will come in our home only and kill us. There. And it should be done like this. Then only people, that's the duty of the king to save the citizens like this, their innocent citizens there. And that's what the Vedic kings are very expert at it. They won't tolerate any offense against their citizens. They will give up their life but protect the citizens there. And that's why the Yuddha was called Dharma Yuddha, because the Yuddha was done to protect the Dharma there, to spread the Dharma. See, what was the concept of emperor? Did I told you about the concept of the emperor? Rasa Yagya, Ashwamedh Yagya. So what was this concept of the emperor is that, see, what would happen, just like Yudhishthir is there, he did a Rasa Yagya. In Rasa Yagya, whole earth comes under your control first, then you do Rasa Yagya. Now, what is the need for a king to bring the whole earth under control? Now, why a king like Yudhishthir has to bring the whole, what the need he has to bring whole earth under control, or all the kingdoms under his control? Any answer?
Under his leadership,
Yeah. to spread dharma. So it's not that he will rule all the kingdoms. See, all kings have to follow the ideology given by Yudhishthira. So that means what happened when they are ruling their kingdoms, but they pay tax to Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira becomes the emperor. That means whatever rules and regulation for dharma they will put, other kings will also follow, and that way they can spread dharma all over the world. That was the meaning of becoming an emperor. So if a sinful king becomes emperor, then everybody follow that way. Dharma is lost. And if a pious king follows, then everybody follows. So everybody become Krishna conscious. And that is why the Rasa Yagya, Ashwin Yagya, they were performed by the king to spread the dharma, to spread the bhakti. So when Yudhishthira became the emperor, he made sure spreading Krishna bhakti all over planet Earth. Till whatever his rule was there, he spread Krishna bhakti with it. And even today, you can see the Vedic culture around the globe. That Vedic culture not only was in India. You go India, Indonesia, it was there. You go Japan, it was there. Japan and Indian gods. Even there are some proofs in the Egypt. There is one country named Luthansia. I made a devotee from there when I went to once time to GB there. So I was saying, how you became a devotee? This country is near England only, Poland and England, Luthansia. So he said in Luthansia also there was a one culture called pagans. And these people will do yagya, worship the devtas. But when Christians came, they killed all these people and they spread Christianity. So I was searching for that religion, and then I found Krishna consciousness is talking the same thing whatever pagans were talking about. That means this whole world had only one culture. Because if you see, the Bhagavad Gita was spoken 5,000 years before. There's not a single time the word Hindu is there in Bhagavad Gita. There. Because there was only one religion in that time. 3,500 years before Jews came. 2,500 years before Buddha came. 2,000 years before Christianity came. And 1,300 years before Islam came. So before that, there was only one religion everywhere. Then eventually Christianity, Islam spread many of these places. So Europeans went to America. That's why American state became an Christian state. But if you see South America, they have a lot of previous culture, Mayan culture, which were destroyed by the Europeans who went there. Okay. And their architecture is quite similar to Dravidian culture, even the South America people. Same with the Japanese gods. I might have shown that, no? Indian gods found in Japan. So Japanese there. So it was whole of one culture only. And in Mahabharata, there's a mention of China. China also was involved. Turkey and all these places, Asia was fully involved. Till full Asia has been a mention in Mahabharata of the kings coming from different places there in Mahabharata for joining the sites and bringing their militaries there. In fact, the Yavan Raj came from Turkey and other places there. Gandhari was from Afghanistan, Kandhar there. Pakistan was in India only at that time, Bharatvarsha there. So practically, this whole world was one globe and one religion only. And Parisksit Maharaj was ruling it all because he was the emperor and the dharma was there. But over a period of time after Mahabharata war, slowly that diffusion stopped and it confined to Bharatvarsha. Then the Mughals came, then the Britishers came, and so much happened. What remains is now is India, what we see. It's a big landscape, and we have multiple kings and things there. But the culture was same. So Parikshit is going out to conquer. There is, let us see what is there. And then as he goes, he saw a Shudra dressed as Kali is hitting a bull who has only one leg. The bull was as white as a white lotus flower. He was terrified of the Shudra who's beating him. He was so afraid that standing on one leg, traveling and urinating. The cow was having tears in her eyes and she was distressed. So there's a cow and there's a bull. See, bull represents dharma and cow represents earth. Cow represents earth, what the maa hai. And bull represents dharma, pita. And if you see, whole economy can be run by bull and a cow. Bull tills the fields and earth gives the milk. So therefore, bull is called father and the earth is called, the cow is called mother. there. And that's what you need in life. The grains and the milk to survive, which are given by bulls and the cows in the Vedic culture. And people live very happily. And when Parikshit Maharaj would do yagyas, the devtas will come. And even the citizens will see the devtas from their naked eyes. So devtas, when they come, if they're very pleased, they can make us visible. So when Parikshit did big sacrifices, so devtas will come to take their share, participant there. So that time even the citizens could see the devtas have come. And the people had so much faith in the devtas because they will see. Because 5,000 years before, there was a culture of dharma here. So devtas will travel regularly to planet Earth. So in Kali Yuga, they also don't want to travel. So interplanetary travels are stopped. Because if they come also, what they will get? The pollution of vehicles. So even they don't want to put feet in Kali Yuga. Right? But during those time, people were pious. So devtas would come in the yagyas of Parikshit and citizens will see those devtas. And therefore, people didn't have doubts. See, nowadays, people have doubt. Oh, what is this? What is this? What is that? Because they will see everything in their front, so they didn't have any doubt if devtas exist or not. They have only one question: who is supreme amongst them? With that, they could not see. And that Yudhishthira proved during the Rasa Yagya that Lord Krishna is supreme because Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma also had come, and the Agra Puja was given to Lord Shri Krishna in the Yudhishthira's Rasa Yagya. And many sages will come, like Chatushka Maharaj will come and talk about, oh, this Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Markandeya will come, oh, this Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Now, Shaunakadi Rishi asked a question, oh, why? Why? Because they heard that Parikshit only punished Kali, he did not kill Kali. So he's asked, please tell us, why did Parikshit not kill Kali? If these topics are related to Krishna. If you feel these topics are related to Krishna, then tell us, otherwise don't tell us. So this is one quality, see, life span is short. Ayur harati vai pumsa udhyana sachayannaso tasya nita uttam sukavartaya. With every passing, rising of sun and setting of sun, our age is going. We are coming closer to death. Except for a person who is engaged in hearing the glories of Supreme Lord. So every day passes by, we come closer to death or not. But except a person who is engaged in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Because if you're hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, you're not coming closer to death, you're coming closer to Krishna. So how is a great fortune that despite so many sessions, the still devotees have enthusiasm to continue the sessions. Those who are hearing every day, how glorious it is. Because as we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we are not passing the day, we are coming close to eternal life. But when you're passing our life without hearing about the Supreme Lord, chanting about the Supreme Lord, we are coming closer to death. Every day sun sets, our one day of our life is gone. Because jitni chabi bhari Ram ne utna chale khilana. So expiry date of this body is there on our matha, which we can't see. Just like if a medicine is there, this expiry date on the medicine. Right? This medicine will expire after this date. So this body also comes with expiry date. Everybody's body will have a different expiry date. But we do not know. See, one expiry date is common, 90 years in Kali Yuga currently. But apart from that, everyone will have their own expiry date. That when this will come there. So with every moment, we are coming closer to that expiry date. But if I engage about hearing about the Lord, that expiry date is bringing us more closer to Krishna on the body. A devotee is looking for eternal life. So devotee is very happy. So we should see that not a single moment is wasted, and that's why the sage is very concerned. If this thing is something without Krishna, don't speak to us. We are not interested. But if it has some relationship with Krishna, then speak. So therefore, a devotee want to hear everything in relationship to Shri Krishna. He don't want to hear anything other than the relationship to Shri Krishna. That's the beauty of a devotee there. So it is something very, very important. So what topics people discuss about there? So if both husband and wife are devotees, then they will naturally discuss about Krishna. So ideal husband and wife are like Parvati and Lord Shiva. So Parvati ji asks questions, Lord Shiva will ask them. And what the question asks, they will ask question about Lord Vishnu, about different leelas of the Lord. And if you see all the Puranas, Padma Puran, it's all conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati. He's speaking about the glories of Lord Vishnu there. So that's the ideal Grahastha life, where people's topic is talking about Shri Hari. So without talking about Shri Hari, there is no life. And I showed that video of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad said, no, stop taking the name of Hari. Is there a life without taking the name of Hari? Is there any life taking the name of Lord Hari? Prahlad Maharaj says. So they said, why did Parisksit Maharaj simply punish Kali, the lowest man? Describe all incidents if they relate to Lord Krishna. अथावास्य पदाम भोजा मकरंद लिहाम सताम किन्नर असदालापे आयुषो यद असद वैहा. So what is the use of padam bhoja? The devotees who are tasting the nectar from the lotus feet of the Lord, they don't want to hear anything else than the topic connected to the Lord. Shudra Ayusham is very small age we have. Why to waste time in hearing other topics? And mandasya manda pragyasya vayo mandayushavai nidrehiyate naktam divacha vyartha karmavi. So night goes in sleeping, days goes in vyartha karmavi, avyartha karmavi. So in difficult things there. The lifetime passes of people who are mandayusha. So Parikshit Maharaj wanted to conquer Kali Yuga, that people of mind say Kali Yuga will not take the territory of Parikshit Maharaj, will not kill people, but will make people degraded and sinful. So Parikshit was very concerned that the degradation by Kali should not happen. And that's why he went all over to see, because he could see the symptoms that happened there. So learning about the effects of Kali, Parikshit took up his bow and arrows and conquered the territory. But wherever he went, he heard about the Pandavas. And he was very happy hearing about them. Not because they were his ancestors, because they were pure devotees of Sri Krishna. And when people glorify, they glorify. And how do people glorify? Sarthe Pashada Sevana Sakya Datya Veera Sunanugaman Stavan Pranama Sisnigdeshu Pandashu Jagat Pranitam Cha Vishnu Bhaktim Karoti Nirprati Naravinde. So what is it? सारथी. भगवान क्या बन गए? भगवान कृष्ण क्या बन गए? सारथी बन गए. किनके? पांडवों के. पार्षद. He was associate of the Pandavas. सख्या. He was friend. दात्या. दूत बन के गए भगवान. शांति दूत बन के नहीं गए करके पांडवों के. वीरासन. और वीरासन ने पांडवों को बचाते रहते थे रात में. जब अर्जुन रात में रेस्ट करते थे, भगवान देखते थे कोई कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं हो रहा. स्तवन प्रणाम. Snigdeshu Pandashu, who Jagat Pranitam cha Vishnu, Lord Vishnu is become Snigdeshu Pandashu, become a friend of the Pandavas, love the Pandavas. And then Parikshit heard this, his whole heart melted into devotion for Shri Krishna there. And why did Krishna get so many services? And people discuss, see, just think, if Krishna does something for us, like Madhavan Puri's appearance was there yesterday. So Madhavan the Puri in Kheer-Chor Gopinath, Remuna, they were offering Kheer Bhoga to the Lord. And he just thought, let me taste this Bhoga so I can make the same Kheer for my deities. But then he said, oh, it's not offered to Krishna. How can I think of tasting it? And he left the place. Then the Pujari came in the dream. The Lord Gopinath came in the dream of the Pujari that 7 pots are offered to me, but I have hidden 1 pot behind me. You wake up and give to my devotee Madhavan Puri. That Pujari woke up in the night after seeing the dream, took a bath, went inside, and so actually there was a pot. And he took that pot in the dead of the night and asking, Madhavan Puri, Lord has kept this pot for you. Oh, Madhavan Puri. And he found Madhavan Puri was there. And when Madhavan Puri got that pot, he was completely into tears of ecstasy. But then Madhavan Puri thought, I'll become famous now. So he left the place. See, this is a symptom of a great devotee. They don't want praise. They run away from praise. But Pratishtha Rahi, Nari Rahi Sada Kuari. Those who want Pratishtha don't get it, and those who get it, they go away. The devotees. So Madhavendra Puri immediately left that place. But the point is, he went to Jagannath Puri. Before he reached Jagannath Puri, people knew great devotee Madhavendra Puri is coming, for whom the Lord stole the key. And immediately he got a chandan, because the Lord had come in his dream, Gopal, that please get the chandan. And that's why he traveled from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri to get the chandan. So people before knew it there. So now the Lord stole the kheer from Madhavan Puri become very famous. But here the Pandavas, Krishna was always with them. He's becoming the Shanti Doot. Oh, everybody saying, my God, what magic the Pandavas have done. They have captured Krishna. And Krishna is ready to do anything for them. And Prabhupada writes, because Pandavas were malleable to the will of the Lord, so Lord became malleable to the Pandavas. So if we are ready to do anything for the pleasure of the Lord, then Lord will also be ready to do anything for us. So if we are ready to do anything, so Sarthya Pasha Sevana Sakya Datya, Vyas Anugamana Stavana Pranama, Snigdeshu Pandashu Jagat Pranpancha Vishnu, Bhaktim Karoti Nirpati Charanar. So this bull and the cow, they are discussing. And bull asks various questions about the distress of earth cow. I lost 3 legs. So bull, see, bull's 3 legs are gone. And cow is crying. Now, but the bull is asking questions to cow that why you are distressed, and says, I lost 3 legs. And you are unhappy because unlaw meters will exploit you. Now Kali Yuga has come. Demigods are bereft of sacrificial offerings. Or famine and drought is coming. Women and children are not cared for. Goddess of learning handled by misguided Brahmanas. Brahmanas are not respecting Brahmanical culture. Disorder created by so-called low-class people are becoming sensitive. People breaking rules and regulations. And finally he comes. Is it due to Krishna's disappearance? Why are you so unhappy? So like Yudhishthira asking many questions, right? There. Why are you unhappy? The same way the bull is asking the cow, why are you unhappy? An earth experience, earth says, Kava sahid viraham purushotamasya prema valokaruchida smitavalguchalpe Isthariam samana maharam madhumani nana romo savo mam yadangri pisankitaya. Kava sahid. How will I tolerate? Sahid means tolerate. Viraha. Viraha means separation. From whom? Purushottama, Lord Purushottama. Prema Valoka. So when I thought I am very fortunate, see what would happen when Krishna was in Mathura, Krishna was in Vrindavan, is with the gopis. Krishna is with them in Hastinapur, is with the Pandavas. When he is in Dwarka, is with the boys. But So when Krishna is with one party, the other two party feeling separation. But Artha was always with Krishna. Because Krishna is always standing on Bhudevi, no? So when I thought I'm so fortunate that Krishna always with me, now Krishna left. So Mother Earth was thinking, I'm so fortunate, even more than the queens, because sometimes Krishna is there with this queen, sometimes with the Pandavas, and sometimes with that. But Krishna is always with me. The moment I thought it, Krishna left me. And therefore I'm feeling grateful. Ko vasahe viraham पुरुषोत्तमस्या प्रेम अवलोका रुचिर स्मिता वल्ग जल्पे आहार मधु रोमस्सुगो यदंग्री विकंतिताय. What happened? So, and then she is recounting all the transcendental qualities of the Lord. In him reside truthfulness, cleanness, intolerance of another's unhappiness, paradukha, dukhi, the power to control anger, self-satisfaction, straightforwardness, steadiness of mind, controls of sense organs, responsibility, equality, tolerance, equanimity, faithfulness, knowledge, object of absence of sense enjoyment, leadership, chivalry, influence, the power to make everything possible, the discharge of proper duty, complete independence, dexterity, fullness of all beauty, serenity, kind heartedness, ingenuity, gentility, magnanimity, determination, perfection in all knowledge, proper execution, possession of all objects of enjoyment, joyfulness, immovability, fidelity, fame, worship, pridelessness, and being as a person regarded in eternity. And I'm feeling separation from my Supreme Lord. And what are these aspects? Now we'll discuss a little bit of this qualities. What? And another thing has happened. They are even called Yamaraj also. The Shaunaka Rishi says that we have called Yamaraj also. So there's no fear of death. You can hear. Because the death comes before because they were doing sacrifice for 1,000 years. So kathas after kathas were going on. So we have called Yamaraj also. So nobody will die till the time Bhagavad Katha is over. So when you're hearing Krishna Katha, the Yamaraj is on holiday. So Yamaraj also comes to hear. So he will not, so nothing will happen. Where Hari Katha is going. So this verse I was telling. Maharaj Parisksit heard that out of his causeless mercy, Lord Krishna, who is universally obeyed, render all kinds of service to the malleable sons of Pandu by accepting posts ranging from chariot driver to president to messenger, friend, night watchman, according to the will of the Pandavas, everything like a servant, offering obeisance like one younger in years. When he heard this, Maharaj Parikshit became overwhelmed with devotion to the lotus feet of the Lord. And the Pandavas were so malleable to the will of the Lord that they could sacrifice any amount of energy for the service of the Lord. And by such unalloyed determination, they could secure the Lord's mercy in any shape they desire. So when we are ready to do anything for the Lord, then Lord is also ready to do anything for us. And if you see, bull is a emblem of dharma, cow is the representative of earth. The reason that bull helps production of grains in the agriculture field and cow delivers milk, the miracle of aggregate food values. The human society therefore maintains these two certain important animals very carefully so they can wander everywhere in cheerfulness. So any culture can only say when bull and cows are happy and protected, then only culture can flourish. The Brahminical culture exists only if there's a cows are protected. So the bull and the cow can be protected for the good of all human society simply by the spreading of Brahminical culture, the topmost perfection of culture appears. When Brahminical culture deteriorates, the cow and bull are substituted, and resultant actions are prominent by the following symptoms. And Dharma is asking that why you become flag? Are you suffering from this? Are you anxiety because unlawed meat eaters will exploit you? Are you in a sorry plight because the demigods are not brought there? So he's asking all this question. And finally, Dhara says, the cow says that I am feeling separation from Sri Lord Krishna. O Dharma, whatever you have inquired for me shall be known to you. I shall try to reply those things. Once you two were maintained by your 4 legs, and you increase happiness all over the universe by the mercy of the Lord. Yeah. So there. And in him, in Lord reside all this. The Prabhupada said, what is the meaning of knowledge? Knowledge has right. The 14th quality knowledge can be further extended to 5 subheadings, namely intelligence, gratefulness. Gratefulness also means knowledge. You remember what people, you acknowledge what people have done for you. That is also knowledge. That so many people are doing so many things for us. And to acknowledge that is also knowledge. If we are not grateful, then we are grateful. Right? So power of understanding the circumstances and environments of place, object, and time. Perfect knowledge of everything and knowledge of the self. Only fools are ungrateful to their benefactors. The Lord feels gratitude to his devotees for such unsophisticated, unconditional service and tries to reciprocate by rendering service. Although devotee also has no such desire in his heart. So devotee wants to serve the Lord, Lord wants to serve his devotee. So I'm thinking about myself and also oppressed among the demigods, about you as well, and all benevolent system, Varna, Ashram, and the human society. I'm worried what will happen in the age of Kali Yuga. The Lakshmi, whose glance of grace was sought by demigod like Brahma, for whom they surrendered many a day unto the personal Godhead, gave her own abode in the forest of lotus flowers, and engaged in the service of the Lord. And I was endowed with specific powers because I was decorated by the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. But now that Lord has been left, and therefore I am feeling there. I was greatly overburdened by the undue military phalanxes arranged by atheistic kings, and I was relieved by the grace of the personal Godhead. And you are also in distressed condition, but Lord protected you also. But who can tolerate the pangs of separation from that Supreme Lord? He could conquer the gravity and passionate wrath of his sweetheart like Satyabhama by his sweet smile of love, pleasing glance and hearty appeals. When he traversed my surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass, which appeared like hairs standing off me out of place. So the grass on Mother Earth was ecstasy, symptom of ecstasy of Mother Earth that Krishna is walking. While the earth and the personal religion was engaged, King Parisksit reached the shore of Saraswati, which flowed toward the east. And next week, we will see what did Krishna talk with Kali, and how Parisksit punished the personality of Kali, and why did he not kill him? And why? And one very simple principle learn. Should you do tit for tat or blame others or not? Right? How to forgive others? How to forgive others? Why to not have a concept of tit for tat? And that's what we will be saying there. And see, in Srimad Bhagavatam, many places one ashrama system is described. But what is the whole purpose of one ashrama system? Because many times we may follow Krishna consciousness right there. But what is the need of one ashrama, even within Krishna consciousness? Would anyone like to say? Why Prabhupada so much emphasize about one ashrama? You know what is one and ashram? Varna means Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. And this is the Varna. Ashram is Brahmachari, Grahast, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Okay. So why there is so much emphasis on the one ashrama in a Vedic society? Or even in Dwapar Yuga when Krishna was present. So why one ashrama is so important?
It helps to propagate karma and at last the devotion of passion. Directly,
Yes.
people will not come to Krishna consciousness.
Directly people will not come to Krishna consciousness. Okay.
It engages people as per their.
And any answers online? Why one ashrama is needed?
Our main objective, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, our main objective is to what to tell. We are this thing, servitor of God. Our intention is to
Yeah.
Our intention is to our objective is that we have to do our work. Like we have to become servitor.
Servitor. Okay. Yeah. So how one ashrama helps in that?
Yes, in Varnashram only we will get those knowledge.
Those knowledge.
We cannot go to God without Guru.
Though that is again transcendental. Maybe something I'm more looking for. Yes, Keshav Prabhu. Keshav Dayanik.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you.
Prabhu, I think it's got to do something with our modes of nature.
Yeah, modes of nature, right?
Luckily, I just read Prabhu. So good timing.
Okay.
So it has something to do with. I think Varna and Ashrama, according to it gives us the right platform according to our mode of nature to elevate our consciousness and then finally come to the conclusion that we have put in this.
Yeah, right point there. Yes, any more answer? See, because we are under the three gunas, and directly we cannot come to Shuddha Sattva transcendence. So Vedic society is divided into one ashrama. So while performing our activities according to our nature, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or Brahmachari, Grahastha, one person thing, living in a family of another ashram of the Guru, we utilize our modes in the service of the Lord. And so recently come. So one ashrama has one aspect of one ashrama is agriculture. Agriculture, where cows are protected, bull is protected, and people have things. Other aspect, the family unit. Other aspect is family unit. The mother care for the children, father set a good example, and father gives good values to the children. Then children are taken birth. And people naturally have a tendency. So the tendencies got engaged in showing affection for the family, raising family in Krishna consciousness. And all people do their dharma in the family, become Lord's devotees and raise themselves. So one ashrama culture provides a platform on which we can take up Krishna consciousness very seriously. And that's why one ashrama is important with it there. That how the family units, if you see in the Vedic society, the family units, how they stay together. The grahasthas maintain the brahmacharis, vanaprastha, and the sannyasis. The brahmacharis and sannyasis, they will go and beg from the grahasthas. Not for begging, but for the sannyasis will go to enlighten the grahasthas in the name of begging. Okay. And the grihasthas together will raise children in Krishna consciousness, bring a society which can become more Krishna conscious. So that was the whole purpose of the Varnashrama Dharma, to make a platform so that people can go to transit. For example, in a circus, if a person is jumping above and there is no net, what may happen if he falls? He will crash. So though we may be in hearing Krishna Katha, talking about transcendence, but when we fall, where we should fall? In Varnashrama platform. We don't go to sinful life, right? If you go to sinful life, it hurts. But Varnashram is a soft net, which is by which we can elevate to transcendence. And therefore, the Varnashrama culture is very, very important. Now, previously, this Varnashrama culture was inherent in India, but now this Varnashrama culture has been completely broken up. People don't want a family life. People don't want to have children. So much of neither people want to be brahmacharis, neither people want to be grihasthas. They want to be independent there. So this life of independence will not do any good. Even we are a different. So the whole system was made in such a way that you live in a family unit and the ego gets purified. You learn submission, learn good qualities. And with that, take Krishna consciousness. So brahmachari learn those qualities in the Gurukul. The woman learn those good qualities in the family, under the home, the submission. And the son obeys the father. Son is submissive to his father, learn those good qualities. So one ashrama creates that system and culture where together people can make spiritual advancement. And therefore many places the one ashrama is given. But the whole purpose of one ashrama is to please Lord Shri Krishna. Yes. Okay, any questions on today's topic?
The description comes, your symbol also writes that it is better to have a section of the Pushuru rather to all communities should become Sudar.
That was in the 11th chapter. Explain there. Anything from this chapter?
So in that regard, I wanted to ask that. So that considered as in that you got the illicit sex or how it was?
See, naturally, it would be not right to do that thing, have prostitution. But the whole point is that people don't pollute the chaste ladies. Because some man will be there.
But it is mentioned that at that times, when the Parisksit was there or Maharaj was there, everybody was following this model.
So one other explanations come. So they were not the prostitute the way it is. They were like courtesans who dance in the court and perform music and other things. You got the point? So that's also another explanation given. Okay. And see, when we say people to follow, it means the majority of the population follow. It's not at 100, 99.9999. It's not that way. It's majority of the population follow. It's always that way.
And also the description comes kings generally went for it. So it is permissible.
Now, when the kings will go to the forest, they will offer it into yajna. And they will practice hunting. Why? So that they can practice, they have to practice killing for wars. So they were allowed to do it to kill wild animals who create trouble for the sages in the forest. So therefore, the kings would kill the wild animals for the protection of the sages in the forest. And to practice hunting for wars. So that concession was given to them.
There is also mentioned specifically that while Krishna returning back to Dwarka, then palace. So in that that even prostitute come to see the Krishna.
So that also, the word is mentioned Var Mukhya. So the Var Mukhya were also called people who dance in the court for the king. It may not be necessarily the prostitutes.
But just next to that, Prabhupada writes that even at that time, one person is.
Yeah, same thing what Prabhu said, no? Same question. So that only, always in society, there will be something. Okay. Vibhuti Mataji, question? Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare
So my
Krishna.
question was that we saw today that all these like Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga, they keep coming in cycles. But I was thinking, like, why does the change from one yuga to another yuga happens?
Yeah, because those who don't go back to Godhead in Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga, then more degradation happen. Then in Treta Yuga, those who don't go, then further degradation happen Dwapar. And those who are not going to 3 yogas, so they are the backbenchers. So Kali Yuga comes. You get the point? So because people are not going back to Godhead, so they are degrading. See, the brilliant student passed out. So the second student remained. So degradation of the class happened. Then for the best cream also passed out and remaining there. So like that, it keeps on decreasing. To facilitate the desire, that modes keep changing. Like in Satya Yuga, the prominent mode was goodness. In Kali Yuga, prominent modes are passion and ignorance. Hardly there is goodness in Kali Yuga. You don't find goodness in people in Kali Yuga. Even the food is not in mode of goodness. So much fertilizer and pesticide is put. So very difficult to be in goodness. But in Satya Yuga, it was difficult to be passionate. It was difficult to be passionate. If you're passionate, you cannot stay in Satya Yuga. But the influence of Satya Yuga, you'll be in goodness. So based on the people, those many modes manifest in those age and the dharma declines. So people want, see, like for example, if 100 years before somebody did some do wrong thing, smoking, drinking, उसको सोसाइटी के बाहर निकाल देते थे. अब ये नहीं करते तो सोसाइटी के बाहर निकाल देते हैं. So that people could freely do all this thing. So Kali has become so perverted. If you do wrong activities, you are glorified. And that exactly happened in the time of Hiranyakashipu also. There. So that is the Kali Yuga. People can freely do sinful activities without any restriction and get frustrated. Also fast. So what normal people of ages would take sense impression, sense gratification 1,000 years, Kali Yuga वाला 5 साल में कर देता है. और 5 साल के 1 साल में हो जाता है. What exposure of sense gratification people of other ages will go in thousands of years, Kali Yuga में 1 साल में exposure हो जाता है. There. So it's very high there. And also people are getting frustrated also very fast. So everything becomes fast. Only they come in contact with devotees, there's a benefit of being in Kali. Yes, Keshav Bhyani.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Yes. So actually, I think I asked this somewhere before, but I'm not able to recall the answer. So I'm asking again probably. So we mentioned that the mercy potency of dharma, it is vanished because we consume, we slaughter animals and then we consume the meat of those animals. So I understand, bro. We are in India. So in India, like Krishna says, we have a lot of education and everything. But there are some countries, bro, like no matter what they, even if they want to try, they cannot produce due to some geographical conditions. So I think my condition is like, first of all, why are people even born there as a human being? Like, if at all they have to become a human being. And secondly, how can they get better? I don't know if I will be able to portray the question correctly.
See, one thing is, if the major civilization was near the rivers previously, the Vedic civilization, and if you see the atmosphere of all other countries, be it Egyptian, be it American, they're very extreme climates. But you see, climate of India is very favorable, and the Bharat Varsha is called a Punya Bhumi. So those people who have a Punya, they take birth in the Punya Bhumi Bharat. And those who have not so much Punya, they take birth in the other countries. That was the general trend there. So Punya people who are looking towards God consciousness, they took birth in India, and they took birth in India and they have more facility for self-realization. And those who don't have much Punya, not much desire for self-realization, they took outside. So anyway, they didn't have self-realization, so they take birth over there. So they can freely do those activities. And when more is given, more is expected also. So when other people do meat eating, they will not suffer so much. But when staying in Bharatavarsha, you do meat eating, you suffer more. We're the Punya Bhumi.
Prabhu, does it have anything to do with the desire of the jiva at the
Yes, it is
death
surely with
of
a
something?
desire. Surely with a desire for self-realization. So people have desire for self-realization, they will be given the facility. Like suppose some child is taking birth in a devotee family. So naturally he would have desire that okay, I take birth in a devotee family, I want to perfect my life. That's why he's given a chance. Okay, we are Mat. We are here.
I had this question that in the initial slides you showed that Kali killed the devotees of the Lord. So how is that possible? Like the devotees of the Lord immune to the effects of Kali. So like Lord protect them. Like, I didn't understand. Like, what?
Yeah, see, Kali killed the devotees in the sense he kills the Brahmanical culture, and he
Okay,
doesn't
okay.
allow devotees to practice devotional service, and so in that sense that he just want to dominate that devotees doesn't rise. He just kill those devotional propensities. That also. Yes. Nagendra, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
My question is, in God's abode, if we are in God's abode, I remember that in one of the session you mentioning that if we are in God's abode, if we get any kind of aspiration or anything of that sort, then we will have this birth of cycle of birth again. So
Hmm.
uh, my question is like, so even in if we go back to God's abode, there is no guarantee that we will stay there for permanently. So there is a chance that we might get some kind of aspirations, or we might be greedy for something.
No, actually, only when you're free from all aspirations, you go to spiritual world, and once you go there, you don't come back. Yad gata nayatande tad dhamam paramam mama. So, because as soon as you want to return, also you will shown your experience of the material world, and then it becomes very horrible, and you feel better. I don't go back again there.
Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hmm. Okay, so I think we end over here. So please come for the 17th chapter. Is going to be very interesting. Yeah. Hare Krishna. English. Mantra Shri Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.